Welcome to Professional Attention Seekers, the podcast where we teach you the art of being successful in the spicy world. I'm Lucy Banks, and today we're talking about the beauty of OnlyFans. OnlyFans has leveled the playing field for everybody of all shapes, sizes, backgrounds, as long as you're good at marketing and you've got a business mindset. Now, hear me out, because I know a lot of people think OnlyFans and they think these gorgeous girls in bikinis snapping photos by the pool and that's all there is to it. But I'm here to tell you a little bit more about how it really works. We're talking niches and how to own yours. Don't worry, I'll throw in real life examples of how you can own your niche and portray your value to your audience. Grab a wine, settle in, and let's chat. First things first, let's dispel a myth. I think there's this huge misconception that, she's a pretty girl, she should start an OnlyFans, and that girls who are traditionally beautiful are the only ones that can be successful on the platform. And I'm here to tell you that is absolutely wrong. As someone who isn't a stereotypical, tiny little bleach blonde who's down at the pool taking photos, I managed to have huge success on the platform. I know people in a lot of other body shapes who have done the same. The beauty of OnlyFans is that everybody has a type. It's not just those stereotypical models who have had success on the platform. However, I think in 2025, those who do have something a little bit different are the ones who are going to be more successful than everybody else. The truth is, you don't need to have a designer wardrobe full of tiny bikinis to be successful on OnlyFans. However, you do need to be bringing something to the table, whether that's a specific visual niche or an activity that you offer on OnlyFans that is different. You need to have a strategy, you need to have a strong brand, and you need to niche down. Niching down is going to be the biggest trend of 2025, mark my words. It's important to show your personality through your content and make it something that's genuine to you. Let me give you some real life examples. I came across an OnlyFans creator once who, and it sounds funny, she was just really angry. She was a bitch. She was such a grumpy person, and all she did was put up Instagrams of her whinging. Someone would come up to her and be like, you're such a babe, and she would tell them to fuck off. And that's all her Instagram was her just being abusive, really. She was so successful because she found a crowd and an audience who wanted that content. They either thought she was really funny or they wanted to be degraded and humiliated. She was one of the biggest success stories I ever saw, and I always thought that was really cool, that she was genuinely just a grumpy person and she made millions from it. There's a lot of other niches that I haven't seen, but I would love to see. Maybe you're a librarian and you're taking sneaky snaps at work. A little known fact is that the MILF category is actually the most searched category on Pornhub. And I always think it's really interesting to see the different categories that are successful and that are most viewed, because it's not generally what you think. Now that we've discussed that having a niche is so important to your success, let's have a talk about how you can become the authority and the go-to in your space. Number one I'm going to talk about is PR, of course. So being able to have a publicist that is putting your narrative out there into the media is the fastest way to cement your spot within your niche, whether you're the creator who is meeting strangers and filming with them, or you're the creator who is filming content at the beach or on your farm. The fastest way to become the authority is to be able to get your name in headlines and be known for what you do. Number two, don't reinvent the wheel. If you find what works for you, that's what you need to be putting on your social media. Yes, there's lots of people out there who are getting successful doing their TikTok dances or whatever the latest reel is. But if that's not your niche, you don't need to be doing that, and it's going to turn your audience off. There's creators out there and their entire Instagrams are them just walking in gym wear, even walking the dog. Look at someone like Georgia Hart, who has hundreds of thousands of followers on Instagram, and she just walks up and down her pool all day in bikinis. That's what her audience wants. She's identified that's what works for her, and the audience just keeps growing because they're getting what they want. And number 3, engaging with your audience. It is so important to show appreciation for them being there and engaging with your page. And it helps to grow that relationship with them. OnlyFans is built on connections. They can go to any other website and view explicit content for free, but they aren't going to want to do that if you're giving them what they need because you're looking after that specific niche and they have a personal connection with you. That's really real and it can't be replicated. And I think it's something that a lot of creators sleep on. They'll see the comments and be like, oh, just another follower, just another guy. But he took the time to write that comment and he's literally expressing an interest. He's showing that he appreciates your content. So that's something that needs to be engaged with. That's what I would refer to as a warm lead. He's already on your Instagram. Why not nurture that relationship a little bit and convert him into a subscriber? I want to talk about specific niches and give you real life examples of how you can leverage who you are as a person and what you're into being your OnlyFans persona. So myself, for example, that would be ridiculous if I was out there pretending like I was a 22-year-old in a little bikini who's a size 6. That's just not going to work for me because that's not what I'm given. With my niche and with my branding, I was always the MILF. I was always the girl next door. I was someone that subscribers would look at and be like, this girl is really relatable. I feel like she could actually be my girlfriend if I met her at the pub, because I would post photos of me being at the pub with my friends and having a good time. And that made me in their world, made them very attainable. So I created an audience of guys who were looking to settle down, who wanted to find someone who was a good mum and wanted to nurture them. That's what worked for me. I really love seeing people with out there niches. I guess I would refer to mine as like girl next door, but that's a pretty common one. There's a couple that I follow on Instagram, the Corn Farmers, and all they do is create content in their garage and they're fixing cars and they're doing like handyman stuff. And it is so fun to watch. They're not out there doing TikTok dances. I don't think they even collaborate with other people. They have just found that doing workshop things like bits and pieces is what works for them. And I'm pretty sure they've got hundreds of thousands of followers and I love that for them. I know of a creator who has a missing limb and that was her whole persona and her niche on OnlyFans. So she would have followers find her because that's what they were into and she would funnel them into subscribers. There's creators who grow their underarm hair and that's what they're known for and all their reels is them lifting their arms and showing that they have that. I think that is so niche and so clever that that's what they do naturally and they've turned it into an income. There's a lot of specific kinks as well that can be catered for, whether that's elbow content, which is an actual thing, by the way, being humiliated for someone who naturally is quite dominant. There's a lot of different niches and kinks that you can tap into and you can be known for that. A lot of people try to appeal to the masses and try to capture everyone in their audience. If you're trying to appeal to everybody, you appeal to nobody. You need to niche down and own what you do. When I was on OnlyFans, I had a subscriber named Sam. Sam was subscribed to me for 3 to 4 years and we had a really close relationship. I knew what he did for work. When he got sick with COVID, I sent Uber Eats to his house with a care package. I named my dog after the suburb that he lived in. We had such a close relationship. I knew his ins and outs. I knew what he liked sexually. And because we had that close relationship, and this is something that was very genuine, he stuck with me for years and years and years. There was one day that he just randomly sent me $1,000 just to show his appreciation. Because I'm the girl next door. I am like an actual internet girlfriend. So being able to tap into that, send him things like, a COVID care package. There was one time where I said to him, hey, I actually really like your Country Road jumper. He sent me money to go buy my own Country Road jumper. And then we took selfies of each of us and we put it together. We've got a photo of us in our matching jumpers. That's something that really worked for me. And it worked for me from a point that it was sustainable. I could keep it up because it was real. And it worked for me in terms of that's what my subscriber base wanted and my income reflected that. Social media is the biggest free marketing tool in the world and it is perfect for OnlyFans creators to show what their niche is and to engage with their audience. There's a lot of different platforms out there, from Instagram, TikTok, Reddit. You need to find where your audience are, and you need to be there as well. Using Reddit and finding subreddits that are within your niche is something that really needs to be taken advantage of, and I don't think enough people do it. That's where your audience are. Finding your audience on your chosen platform, you can be using things like hashtags. You need to be making your content suitable for SEO. There are so many different avenues you can find, and they're all going to be on social media. If your niche is doing naked cooking on Instagram, then you need to be doing sexy cooking, clothed cooking that's appropriate for social media, but you need to be attracting that audience that will then funnel into your OnlyFans, and you're going to be able to give your audience more of what they see on social media. If you have a very interesting kink, you need to be able to find those subreddits. Maybe something like, hey, is it weird if I do this? And you're going to be able to create conversations around that kink, and then they're going to be able to follow you, and they're going to funnel through to find out where they can find more of you. I used to work with a creator who had a very, very specific medical condition. She wrote about it in health forums and subreddits, being like, hey, is this normal? The amount of engagement she got was huge, because it doesn't come across like she's selling anything. She's just talking about her medical condition, which is very real. And then people who found that attractive or wanted to know more then went to her website and then subscribed to her OnlyFans. She tapped into what was a kink, and it was something that was very genuine to her, and she put herself in front of her audience, and the result was exactly what she wanted. Leveraging social media and putting yourself in front of the right audience is your next step to becoming a bigger creator. OnlyFans can be a success story for anyone if you figure out your branding, you niche down, and you own it. I love seeing girls that aren't, traditionally beautiful, or they've got something else going on, or they've turned their hobby into something that is they can monetize by growing it on social media and then linking their OnlyFans. It is very, very fucking cool to see, and I think there's going to be more of that moving forward. OnlyFans is no longer a little side hustle. It's a career, and the success and what you're going to get out of it is down to you and what you put into it. If you're thinking about dipping your toe into this industry, or if you're an existing creator and you want to grow bigger, I encourage you to commit to it, treat it like a business, and you will reap the rewards. Thank you so much for tuning in. Stick around for the next episode, where we are going to dive even deeper into how to make your OnlyFans a success.